to All Things Possible TV. I'm Kris Barney, and I'm thrilled to have you here with me, joining me on our All Things Possible channel. It is exciting to have you with us. Today's episode is how much pain are you causing by second guessing your decisions? Every time that we make a decision and we go with it, we need to stay with that decision. How many times do you find yourself second guessing the decisions you've made and you're partway down the stream, right? Or you've been down the stream a long ways and we're all of a sudden second guessing where that's at and what's happening for us. Well, we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about some of the ways that you can make better decisions in the first place, as well as how to stay with a decision once you've made it and to stop second guessing yourself. That is something that many of us do on a regular basis, and we need to know how powerful we can be by staying with that decision and by not second guessing ourselves. Before we go into much more detail, I want to invite you to go to our website. It's right here on the screen, www.allthingspossible.biz, and get the free 7 traits. If you haven't gotten the 7 traits yet, you deserve to get them. It's a free gift to you. And the 7 traits will ultimately help you move down your path farther, and it will help you immediately if you will just implement the things that are in those 7 traits. It's 7 traits to live by, and they are very valuable. They're traits that all of us should be living by and doing, and it will increase your abundance and it will increase your joy and your freedom. So get those now and have those in your life. Back to our topic. How much pain are you causing by second guessing your decisions? This is something that I have found a lot with my clients, and like I usually get live and real and open, I have second guessed myself a lot. And I've learned just how much pain that can cause and how difficult that can be. So today I want to just kind of jump in, give you some examples, and give you some ideas on how things could look differently for you and how you can be more powerful if you will stay with your decision and you will empower yourself through it rather than second guess yourself. Couple of different options, different stories that I want to share with you. The first one is, as a mother and parenting, I got to a point where a couple of my kids chose their own choices, and hopefully all 4 children chose their own choices, but a couple of them chose choices that weren't necessarily what I wanted for them. And when this happened, I really second guessed myself. I went back into how did I feel as a mother, and what did I do? What did I do wrong, and how could this happen? How did I not see it? One of the things that I'm referring to, which those of you who don't know me well yet, I have a child who is gay. And for a long time, that decision was difficult for me because I felt it was something I did wrong, something I created, I caused. And I second guessed myself a lot. And it was never my son that said, it's your fault. And it was never ever brought on that way, except I kept internalizing and wondered if I'd have made different decisions, if I would have parented different, if I'd have been more in tune, I would have known. What I can tell you is that's not true. By embracing where he's at, and by embracing his good qualities, and by embracing just that unconditional love that he can be different than I am and he can have his life his way, I am more powerful, and so is he. By restricting that, we're held back, and it causes contention, it causes feelings, and it makes me value myself less because I question my own integrity and truth of myself. So what I can tell you is we have to learn this in our own way, but at the same time, you don't have to go through all the pain. How much pain is that causing when I'm second guessing myself? That's pain for me, it's pain for my children, it's pain for my spouse. It was so much better when I just embraced unconditional love and the lessons that we were learning. We have been able to help a lot of families in this same position. We've been able to make changes for people that couldn't make them for themselves. I would have loved to have had someone that could step in and help us when we were going through that challenge. And when we were coming to the terms of where we were at and how it looked and what was going to happen, I would have loved to have that. And it wasn't out there. So how valuable is it that I am able to share with people and work with people to where it is unconditional love? It is something that is embraced and loved and that you can move forward. That's just one of my examples. Another example I want to talk about is a marriage. Now we get into marriage, and in our society it is way too easy to get divorced. I know that there are some times when divorce is called for, but there are more times that it happens that are uncalled for than actually should be terminated. And I am just one of those people that I'm a stickler on this. If you made a decision to get married, there was love, there was all these things there. And when you start second guessing that, when we're unfaithful, when we make bad choices, when we do things like that that are not in alignment, of course we second guess. And when we start second guessing the relationship, it's easier and easier to leave than to fix it. What I can tell you is there's less pain if you will fix it. And most people don't want to hear that. Most people are like, I'm done. I'm so out of here. But look at how that affects the children. Look at how that affects the extended family. Look at how that affects so many other things. When you second guess your decisions, even when it's down the road, you need to make sure that it's built on the right criteria. You have got to build it on the right criteria to make a good decision. And so much of the time we build it on the bad criteria and the harsh feelings and the emotions, and we let everything else determine that outcome. And what I can tell you is most of the time it's not the best decision. We're better off sticking with the original decision of where we were. Now, lots of times we make a decision and we think, oh, I made this decision and I can't change. You can always change your decision as far as I started in business and I'm doing it this way and now there's this, why in the road, which direction do I go? Absolutely, you can make a new decision. You can choose to go bigger and be a bigger company with more employees, or you can choose to be a little mom and pop's joint. It doesn't matter at that point. You can make that decision because that's a new decision for you. What I'm talking about are some of those deeper, long-term decisions. Just recently, I was able to witness a decision and a pain caused by second guessing that decision. And this is pretty raw and real for me, but I want to share it. I have an adopted daughter. We adopted her brand new as an infant, and we had the 3 boys and a hysterectomy by 24 years old, and I knew I wasn't done, and we found our daughter. And that's what it was. We weren't just looking for a baby, we were looking for our daughter. And I found the perfect birth mom, and she's been phenomenal. And we have this beautiful daughter. We've been able to share her whole life. She's almost 21, and things have been fabulous. She recently talked with her birth mother, and during this conversation, her birth mother said that she regretted her decision and that she should have kept her. What I can tell you is that was never the conversation in the 18 years up to when she was 18, when she started spending more time with her birth mother. It was always about, you're the right parents, you're all that. Now, in her defense, she did not say, that's not the right parents, nothing. She said, you have fantastic parents and I'm grateful for that. But she had missed a lot of years with my daughter. And my daughter's phenomenal. So when she got to know her better, she started to regret the decision that she had made. Now, at 20 years old, almost 21, how is that going to make her feel? And the reason that I say that is that statement just created pain. There's no way to go back and change the decision. 20 years ago, there's no way to change that decision. And yet she herself is going through a ton of pain, saying, I missed this, I missed this, I missed this, I should have done that. And she's creating a lot of pain for herself. But in turn, she's also creating turmoil and pain for my daughter. Because at this point in her life, she's content with how things have gone. She's finally gotten past that, belonging and feeling like she was given away in abandonment. which a lot of people feel in adoption. It's very typical. It's not specific to this person. It's very typical in that setting. And we absolutely love her birth mother. But it's a matter of how much pain is being caused by second guessing this decision. There's no way to change it. And that's what I want you to see. I was also given the privilege to take in someone who had a baby, and we gave the baby up for adoption. And that was a tough thing at that point. But now in her life, she embraces that this baby is with the right family, and she just completely empowers that situation. How much different is that, so that she doesn't feel the pain? Yeah, there's definitely times when you give a baby up for adoption that you're going to miss them and you're going to feel some pain and anguish, but not as much as when you start second guessing your decision, when it's too late to change it, when there's nothing you can do about it. And those are the decisions that I want you to really pay attention to. When you make a big life decision that really can't be changed, and that you get to a certain point, when you start second guessing that, all you're causing is pain. What I want you to do is recognize, can I change this? Because if you cannot change what the decision was, then trying to second guess it is not going to serve. Can I do anything about it? Can I make it different? Because if you can't, it's not going to do anything but cause pain. We had a business investment that we did with a company about more than 5 years ago, probably more like 7 or 8 years ago. But we invested a lot of money for us. And we were going strong, everything was great, and we were set to be extremely wealthy. And when this started to go downhill and it wasn't working out and the merge wasn't coming through and stuff wasn't happening, there was a lot of second guessing going on in our house. There was some really, really big feelings. Now, we couldn't take it back. We couldn't change the fact that we'd invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into this company, and it was now going belly up, and we were not going to get paid back. And even recently, we refinanced our house to put that second mortgage into it, and I have a large house payment, and larger than I've ever had in my life, and than I ever thought I would have. And as long as I hold that in a bad decision and in second guessing what we did, the more pain I feel. It was just a few weeks ago that my husband Bill and I, who was my business partner, were talking, and we really recognized the lesson in it. And we said, do you know what? If that would have gone, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. We wouldn't have this business. You wouldn't be watching me on this channel. We wouldn't be changing lives. We would have been doing things differently. Yes, we were planning service missions. Yes, we were planning to give money to the poor and to some really cool places, because we believe in that. We believe in giving back. We believe in doing good. But we would not be in a powerful position to be able to change people's lives, to assist others to make better choices, to have more information and education, to be able to be healthier and happier, and to be empowered to be all that they can be. We would not be doing this. So what I can tell you is you need to embrace the lesson in what your decision was. Rather than look at it as a bad decision, look at the lesson that you learned. We learned a lot of lessons, and right now we are in a completely different track of where our life was headed than where it was. Even though we had all the lessons, we had gone through all these difficult trials, we'd had all these challenges, we'd been entrepreneurs, we'd been involved in a lot of things, we still wouldn't be the people that we are today if we had not lost this huge investment. Had it gone big, we'd be very wealthy, doing life different. And right now, what I can tell you is it's much more valuable to be able to change lives. A lot more work, but much more valuable. And we get to see the effect that it's having on so many. So when you start looking at the choice that you've made, you need to look at the whole big picture. When you've made a decision and you just even get into the thought process of second guessing what it might be, that's when you need to stop and you need to evaluate and you need to decide what it is you're learning, why your life is different because of it, and the good that you can find in it. Anytime we focus on the bad, we get more bad. Anytime we focus on the good, we get more good. And what I can tell you is that is the way to live your life. There's several things that you can do when you're making a decision, and several triggers to help you watch. Tips, tools, whatever you want to call them. I think they're triggers. But the first thing is to trust yourself. You've got to trust that gut feeling. You've got to trust the feelings that you have, and you've got to be in integrity with yourself so that you can trust yourself. That's probably key. It's number one. One of the traits I teach. You've got to be in integrity with you. But you've got to trust yourself. When you can have that relation to where you can trust your gut feeling and you can trust that knowledge, you can say, ooh, run. Okay, that's one of the things to watch for. You need to get enough information. Now, so much of the time we want to make a decision and just like run with it, right? I even have questioned. My daughter went to Nepal for 5 months and came home engaged. And when she came home engaged, I'm like, do you have enough information? This is someone from Nepal, great guy, but your life is going to be much different than you thought. Did you get enough information? Did you do your due diligence? Did you look into all the avenues? Did you look into what it's going to take financially to have a life in Nepal and Utah? So there's a lot of information that we have to know, but we have to get that information. If you're not willing to get the information, be willing to know that you're making a mistake. If you don't have all of the information, very likely that you are going to make a bad decision. And then you'll end up second guessing yourself. So make sure you have the information. Do your due diligence. The other thing is respect your doubts. If you start to have doubts about something, look into it. You have inspiration for a reason. You have intuition. You should use it. So if you start having doubts, now this could be a relationship, maybe you're engaged to be married, and you start doubting it. You need to look into those doubts. Respect the doubt. You have that for a reason. Now, it may not mean you need to break up, but it might mean you need to have, more specific terms, or maybe you need to look deeper into something that's starting to bug you. There are a lot of things in life that we need more information, and there is no reason not to get that. The other thing is to stop going in circles. When you make a decision, stick with it. When we go in circles and chase our tail, we don't accomplish anything. We just sit and spin in circles, and we're not very abundant, we're not very secure. Everything seems to fall apart because we're not being substantial in what we are and what we're about, and we're not moving forward because we're sitting and going in a circle. So make a decision and stick with it. Now, don't be afraid that if you've made a decision and it is bad, it is not working, feel free to make a new decision. There are times we do need to make a new decision, but second guessing the other decision is not always going to create anything but pain. Almost every time it will create pain, especially if it's a decision you cannot change. If you start questioning your past, you can't change it. You can only change how you feel about it. So be willing to change how you feel and not second guess what happened. The other thing is stay true to what is real for you, your beliefs, your thoughts, your beliefs, and your talents and abilities. Stay true to you. Honor that. Most of the time we get negligent in honoring our true value, and we don't allow ourselves to care enough for ourselves, and we tend to devalue ourselves. What I can tell you is in this department, you need to value you. You need to value your belief system, your own true value, and what you value in life. Go back to what's important to you. Does this decision align with your beliefs, with your values, and what you're about? Don't ever compromise in this department. You will always be sorry. It won't come out better. It won't happen over time. It will, if you compromise, you will be sorry. You will be second guessing it. I hope that you have learned a few things. Remember, trust yourself. Get enough information. Okay, do your due diligence. Respect your doubts. Respect when those doubts come before you make that decision. Respect that. Allow that to be part of your process. And stop going in circles. Going in circles chasing your tail is not going to get you anywhere. So be willing to go forward, forge through those difficult challenges, and stay focused on the outcome, on where you're headed. Stay true to your beliefs. Never, never cut the corners and decide that it's going to be okay. It's pretty close. Make sure it stays to your beliefs. That's what's really important. I hope you've gotten something from this. I know in sharing the different stories about in adoption, investment business, even one that I hear all the time from my clients or from several clients is, oh, I decided not to have kids for 10 years and now I'm sorry, and I should have had kids sooner. I would have had more children. You can't change that. If there's something you can do to change it, great. Then make a new decision. But if you go, what can I do about it, and there's nothing, then stop second guessing it. One more example for you. While my daughter was in Nepal, they had some really severe weather and landslides, which currently they've just gone through a lot of earthquakes and some horrific damage. But while she was there, there was this horrible landslide, and it was at a mountain that I knew she was supposed to be hiking close to that time. I was out of state speaking at a women's conference, and there was nothing I could do about it. And when the news was on and everything was going on and I couldn't get a hold of my daughter, I finally had to say to myself, what can I do about it? If I were to jump on a plane right that second, it would take me 2 days to get there. Is that going to help her? No. If she hasn't survived already, there's no way in 2 days, if I could even find her, that she would be helped by me going. So I had to decide, what can I do? And when the answer was, I can do nothing, then I had to let go of the worry. I had to let go of the frustration. I had to let go of the fear, because it was just causing me to go in spiral circles of second guessing, you know, her being there and all that's going on and what can I do and should I speak or should I not speak? Well, I had to speak. And there was 100 women in the room and it was phenomenal. So me not speaking would not have helped. It wouldn't have changed the situation in Nepal. It would just have changed my situation. So when you have things come up, the first question to ask is, how does this affect me? Can I do anything about it? What can I do? And when you've determined what you can do, then determine, is that what I want to do right now? Is that how I want to do this? And then go with your decision. Thank you for joining me today. I am thrilled that you were here with me. I hope that you got something out of this. I want you to look at your life and see how much pain you are causing yourself, your loved ones, and all those around you by second guessing your decisions. Let's trust ourselves and let's go forward. I want to invite you again to go to my website, www.allthingspossible.biz, right here, and get your free 7 traits. 7 traits that you can live by, you can implement in your life, and it will improve your life right now if you will just get that free gift. Also, if you are interested in doing a strategy session, go to the website, click on Contact Us, and send me an email. And we will get you scheduled for a consultation and be able to move your life in a new direction. Thanks for being here, and join us again next week here on All Things Possible TV. Bye-bye.